The clock flashed 3 a.m. Again, he woke with a gasp, heart pounding in his chest. He had been running, chased by something he couldn't see or understand. Cold sweat clung to him, making him shiver. He threw off the covers, walked to the window, feeling uneasy. The city outside was eerily silent, almost too quiet. Streetlights cast an orange glow, but no cars moved at all. He rubbed his eyes, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling. This wasn't right. He had experienced this before, many times. The chase, the fear, waking up at 3 a.m. It was all too familiar. Every time the city outside was the same, deserted and lifeless. He closed his eyes, willing himself to wake up again, to escape. This had to be a dream, a never-ending nightmare. He opened his eyes, feeling the weight of the night lifting off his chest. Sunlight streamed through his window, casting a warm glow that felt both comforting and familiar. Relief washed over him. It had been a dream, a vivid and unsettling dream that left him feeling uneasy. He could remember the feeling, the fear, but the details were fading like mist in the morning sun. He went through his morning routine, coffee, breakfast, the usual news. It was all so ordinary, yet something felt different, but something felt off. He couldn't shake the feeling that he had done this all before, like a record stuck on repeat. The same news story about a missing cat, the same traffic jam on his way to work. Everything was eerily familiar. Days turned into weeks. Every night the dream returned, haunting him with its persistence. Every morning the same routine, the same feeling of déjà vu. It was as if he was living the same day over and over. He tried changing things up, different breakfast, different route to work. He hoped for a change, a break in the cycle. Nothing helped. The loop always reset, bringing him back to the same starting point. The clock always struck 3 a.m. He was trapped in a never-ending cycle, a prisoner of time. One morning, he noticed something different. The air felt heavier, as if it was charged with an unseen energy. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but something was definitely off. A picture on his shelf, a photo of him and his friends, was gone. It was a cherished memory, one he looked at often. The empty space where it used to be seemed to mock him. He could have sworn it was there the day before. He even remembered dusting it off just yesterday. How could it just disappear? He dismissed it, his mind playing tricks again. Stress, he thought. It had to be stress. He had been working too hard lately. But then other things started to change, little things at first, like the position of objects in his room. They seemed to move on their own. A vase moved from the coffee table to the bookshelf. He was sure he hadn't touched it. It was as if the room had a life of its own. A book he was reading vanished, only to reappear on his bedside table, the bookmark several pages ahead. It was unsettling, to say the least. Time itself seemed to twist and turn. Minutes felt like hours, and hours like minutes. Reality was slipping through his fingers. He'd glance at the clock, 10 a.m. It was always 10 a.m. No matter how long he stared, the hands wouldn't move. Look away, then back again, 10:02 a.m. Then 9:58 a.m. His world was unraveling. Time was no longer a constant. The line between dream and reality blurred. He couldn't tell if he was awake or still dreaming. His nights were filled with vivid dreams that felt all too real. Were the changes happening in his waking life, or were his dreams bleeding through? The boundary between the two was dissolving. He couldn't be sure of anything anymore. His reality was shifting, and he was powerless to stop it. The world he knew was slipping away, replaced by something he couldn't understand. Section 4. Trapped in a dream. He remembered reading about lucid dreaming, about taking control of your dreams. The idea fascinated him, the possibility of bending reality to his will. He focused on his senses, trying to ground himself in the moment. The texture of the bedsheet, the smell of coffee, the warmth of the morning light streaming through the window, the chirping of birds outside. Every detail felt vivid, almost too real. Could he influence this reality? Could he bend it to his will like in the stories he had read? He tried to change something. He wished for rain, looked out the window, still sunny. The sky remained clear, mocking his efforts. He wished for his missing photo to reappear. Nothing. The frame stayed empty, a stark reminder of his powerlessness. Was he not dreaming after all? Or was this a dream so convincing that it defied his control? Or was this a dream so deep, so real that he had no control over it? A labyrinth of his own mind with no exit in sight. Was he just a passenger, destined to repeat this cycle endlessly, a mere observer in his own life? His sanity felt like it was slipping away. The lines between reality and dream blurred. He longed for a sign, an answer, something to anchor him. to tell him what was real, anything to break free from this torment, a crack in the facade, a way out, but the only constant was the dream, the clock, and the unsettling feeling that he was living the same day over and over again. Time seemed to mock him, each tick a reminder of his entrapment. Section 5, An Unending Mystery. He sat by the window, the city lights painting the room in shades of orange and black. 3 a.m. The familiar dread crept in. He closed his eyes, bracing himself for the chase, the fear. When he woke up, sunlight streamed through his window. Birds chirped. The city was alive with the sounds of a new day. Was it different this time? Had he finally broken free? He looked at the clock. 3:01 a.m.